It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Brewdog and it's their Nitro Jet Black Heart, a vanilla oatmeal milk stout coming in at 6% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. There's a look at the can. Some of you will remember, I think I've reviewed this beer twice on the channel. This would be the third time. The first time was when it first got released. Then I think I reviewed this beer with the regular version. So the Nitro version of Jet Black Heart versus the regular version of Jet Black Heart. And I was intrigued to see this in Morrison's as a new beer in a 440 milliliter can. I'll say new packaging for Morrison's. And I thought, I haven't had this beer for 2-3 years maybe. Let's see if it's still performing, because I really liked it. Ooh, look at that. Right, wiping my nose, my apologies. This is a dumper. So what you do is you essentially do this. Always scares me when you're asked to do this with your beer, but apparently it's the best way to pour a nitro beer. Look at that. Let me move my hands out of the way. Look at that. It's the most unorthodox way of pouring a beer. But just to look at the beer developing in the glass like that is just, it's quite astonishing. Quite astonishing. Look at the density on that head. Look at I've never seen anything quite like that. If I roll the glass around with the beer on the edge of the glass like that, I'm going to have the most wonderful, wonderful lacing that I've never seen before on a beer. We all the way around yet? Yeah, look at that. Look at that lacing. My goodness me. Ooh, this is candy for me. Candy, look at that. Look at the way when you rock the beer back and forth. That micro carbonation chasing the head up the glass. That looks terrific. I am going to say, just by looking at the beer, it's changed. Just by looking at it, the appearance on that beer is just incredible. That's your Galloping Horses Guinness advert, isn't it? Where the horses are running through the water. Right, jet black beer in the glass, fantastic head, fantastic lacing, fantastic nitro look to the beer, micro carbonation. Let's get the aroma. Because for a stout, for all the talking I've been doing and holding the beer quite close to me, I've not picked up too much of an aroma. And for a stout, that's a little concerning. But fear not. Fear not. If it's one thing I can say about Brewdog is that they make one incredible, or they make incredible dark beer. They make incredible dark beer. Porters, stouts. I reviewed their sun-made stout. Ooh. Must have been about 6 to 8 months ago now, and it was like a rum and raisin type beer, and that was one of the best Brewdog beers I've ever had. That sun-made stout was fantastic. This smells really good. It was £3 a can, of part of the new. I say new. It's not a new beer, but it's part of the new range in Morrison's. Let's dive in. Cheers. It's like a milkshake. Nice aroma. Chocolate, coffee, caramel, vanilla. It just makes me want to sit in the corner and go to sleep now. Put my slippers on and sit in front of the telly. That is beautiful. It's beautiful. I will say that. The mouthfeel makes the beer. This mouthfeel completely makes the beer. The vanilla, the touch of toasted coconut. It's a little plummy, a little pruny. That's the hops coming through on the back end. Nice bitterness. The bitterness is coming from the roasted malt in the beer. The bitterness is always also coming from the hops in the beer. It's just really nicely balanced. It's really, really nicely balanced. The big creamy nitro-like mouthfeel. The chocolate, coffee, caramel flavours mixed with a bit of plum and prune and raisin. A little bit of sweetness from the malt. A little bit of bitterness from the malt and the hops. It's a really decent brew. A really decent brew. I can imagine I can just imagine some people's faces who say you're a regular Guinness drinker. If you know a family member, if you're watching this video and you know a family member who just loves a stout and will only drink Guinness and thinks that's a stout, hand them a can of this. Hand them a can of this. Say, granted, it's a little bit more money. I don't even know what Guinness is now. If you bought Guinness in a 12 pack, it would probably cost no more than 15 quid, which would probably put it at, as a 12 pack, probably about £1.10 a can. This is £3 a can. It's almost 3 times as more, I imagine. But if you bought a single can of Guinness, that's probably going to be about £1.80. So there's probably about £1, maybe £1.50 difference in price. Get them to buy one. Or if you're feeling really generous, buy one for them. Dump it in like I did. Crack the can, dump it in the glass like I did. Really rigorous. And just let them acknowledge this beer. It's a really, really interesting beer. And one of the beers from Brewdog that I've always enjoyed. And I'm quite happy to say that I would rather drink, and this is taking nothing away from this beer. This is taking nothing away from this beer whatsoever. I did a side-by-side of Jet Black Heart, bottle versus nitro. I preferred the regular bottle, the unnitroed version, because it seemed to have a little bit more flavour. The nitro, for some reason, knocks a little bit of that flavour away, for whatever scientific reason it is. Perhaps some of you can comment and tell me. But I would prefer the regular bottle version. If you can get that, I would say get that. It's a very good beer. But this is not too far away. This is not too far away from the bottle version. Rating. For £3 a can, for the 440 millilitre in Morrison's right now, the branding, the way the beer looks, I was really impressed. Really impressed. If I hadn't tasted this beer before, and I was going into this kind of like really blind, then I'd be like, wow, what an amazing new beer from Brewdog. It's of course, it's still a very, very good beer. I like it enough to give it an 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!